Hello everyone, welcome to Fluent English. We're so happy you're spending a little part of your day with us. Whether you're listening while driving, walking, cooking, or just relaxing at home, thanks for joining us. Today's lesson is going to make your English sound much more natural because we're talking about one of the most common verbs in English. Go.
Hey everyone, I'm excited about today's episode because go isn't just a simple verb that means moving from one place to another. Americans use it in dozens of phrasal verbs every single day, and if you understand them, you'll suddenly start catching expressions you've probably heard in movies, TV shows, YouTube videos, and real conversations.
Exactly. I remember when I was learning another language, I knew all the basic vocabulary, but native speakers kept using little expressions that completely confused me. That's what phrasal verbs can feel like at first. The good news is they're much easier once you learn them in real situations, instead of memorizing long lists.
That's why today's lesson is practical. We're not giving you random phrases from a textbook. We're sharing 12 GO phrasal verbs that Americans actually use in everyday conversations. You'll hear natural examples, common mistakes, and easy ways to remember them.
By the end of this episode, you'll know when to say things like go on, go back, go out, go through, and many more. More importantly, you'll feel confident using them naturally instead of translating from your own language.
Before we jump in, we'd love to hear from you. Which GO phrasal verb do you already know? Or maybe there's one you've heard but never understood. Leave your answer in the comments because we read as many as we can, and your question might even appear in a future episode.
And if you're enjoying these lessons, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Fluent English, and share it with a friend who's learning English too. Every like and comment helps us create more free lessons just like this one.
Awesome, grab your coffee, relax, and let's dive into today's lesson.
Let's start with the basics. A phrasal verb is simply a verb plus another word, usually a preposition or an adverb. Together, they create a brand new meaning. So even though you know the word go, adding another small word can completely change what it means.
Here's the simple formula: subject plus go plus particle plus the rest of the sentence. For example, I go on, they went back, we're going out. The small word after go changes the meaning.
Let's begin with our first phrasal verb, go on. This usually means continue. You can say, please go on. Don't stop, go on. My teacher went on talking for another hour. Notice that nobody is actually moving anywhere. They're continuing.
Here are a few more examples. My favorite show is going on right now. The meeting went on until 6. Life goes on. That last one is something Americans say a lot after difficult situations. It means life continues.
Number 2 is go back. This means return. I forgot my wallet, so I had to go back. We're going back home tomorrow. I'd love to go back to New York someday. Very common and very useful.
Here's number 3, go out. This one has several meanings depending on the situation. I'm going out with my friends tonight. The lights went out. They go out for dinner every Friday. See how the meaning changes with context?
Exactly. That's why learning whole sentences is much better than memorizing definitions. Let me ask you something. If you forgot your phone at work, what would you do? I'd say, I'd go back to get it. How about you? Think about your answer, and if you'd like, write it in the comments.
Here's another question. What do you usually do on Saturday night? Do you go out with friends? Do you stay home? Try answering in English. Speaking out loud really helps your brain remember.
Number 4 is go in. This simply means enter. Go in and have a seat. They went in quietly. The dog wouldn't go in because it was scared. Simple, but you'll hear it all the time.
And number 5 is go away. This means leave. The rain finally went away. Please go away. My headache went away after I drank some water. Notice that sometimes people use it politely, and sometimes it sounds strong depending on your tone.
That's a great point. Tone matters. If you smile and say, could you go away for just a minute? It sounds polite. If you shout go away, it sounds angry. Same words, different feeling.
Let's also talk about negatives. Instead of saying, I went out yesterday, you can say, I didn't go out yesterday. Instead of, we're going back, you can say, we aren't going back. Notice that the phrasal verb stays together even when the sentence becomes negative.
Here's a quick challenge. Can you make a sentence using go on? How about go away? Pause for a second, not literally, and think of your own examples. Then write one of them in the comments so everyone can learn together.
Before we move on, let's do a quick review. Today you've learned go on, go back, go out, go in, and go away. These are everyday expressions Americans use naturally, and the more you hear them in context, the easier they'll become.
We've already learned some of the most common phrasal verbs, and now it's time to build on those. These next expressions are incredibly useful because you'll hear them at work, at school, while traveling, and even when chatting with friends. Once you start noticing them, you'll realize they're everywhere.
That's so true. Sometimes learners know the individual words, but when they're put together as a phrasal verb, the meaning changes completely. Don't worry, though. We'll take them one step at a time and use real-life situations.
Let's start with go through. This phrasal verb often means to experience something difficult or to examine something carefully. For example, I went through a stressful week at work. We need to go through these documents before the meeting. So always pay attention to the context.
Here are a few more examples. My family went through a big move last year. The teacher went through every question before the exam. We'll go through the instructions together. See, sometimes it's about an experience, and sometimes it's about reviewing information carefully.
Imagine your friend says, I'm going through a tough time. That doesn't mean they're walking through anything. It means they're experiencing something difficult. If you hear this expression, a natural response is, I'm sorry you're going through that. Americans say this all the time.
Let's move to our next one, go over. This means review or check something carefully. Examples, let's go over today's homework. Can we go over the plan one more time? My manager went over the report before sending it.
I use this expression almost every day. Before recording a lesson, I always go over my notes to make sure I don't forget anything. What about you? Before an exam, do you go over your notes? Tell us in the comments, using a complete English sentence.
Here's another important one, go for. One meaning is choose. I'm going to go for the blue shirt. I think I'll go for the chicken instead of the pasta. Another common meaning is trying to achieve something. Go for your dreams, go for it.
I love that expression. If your friend says, I'm thinking about applying for a new job, you can simply say, go for it. It's short, encouraging, and very natural.
Now let's hear a quick conversation. I'm nervous about taking the driving test. Don't worry, go for it, you've practiced a lot. That's exactly how native speakers encourage each other.
Here's another one you'll hear constantly. Go with. This means match, fit together, or choose together. This jacket goes with these shoes. Rice goes well with chicken. I think this color goes with your room.
Here's a fun question. Does pineapple go with pizza? People have very strong opinions about that. Tell us what you think in the comments and let's see which side wins.
Now let's compare casual and formal English. Instead of saying, this tie matches your suit, a friend might simply say, that tie goes with your suit. Both are correct. The second one sounds a little more conversational.
Here's a quick practice activity. I'll describe a situation and you choose the best phrasal verb. You studied all week and now it's time to take the test. Would you say, I'm going over the test, or I'm going for it? The answer is, I'm going for it because you're giving it your best shot.
Here's another one. You want to review your notes before class. Would you say, I'm going over my notes, or I'm going for my notes? The correct answer is, I'm going over my notes. See how changing one little word completely changes the meaning.
Before we finish this section, here are 3 quick tips. First, always learn phrasal verbs in complete sentences. Second, listen to how native speakers actually use them in conversations. Third, don't be afraid to use them yourself even if you make mistakes. That's how real progress happens.
We'd love to see your practice. Write one sentence using go through, go over, go for, or go with in the comments. Try making it about your own life because personal examples are much easier to remember.
Excellent work. So far, you've learned 4 more everyday phrasal verbs that will make your English sound much more natural. Keep practicing them, and you'll start recognizing them everywhere you listen to English.
You're doing great so far. Let's finish our list with 3 more phrasal verbs that native speakers use all the time. These are especially helpful in everyday conversations because they're short, natural, and very expressive.
Our first one is go off. This phrasal verb has several meanings. An alarm can go off, a bomb can go off, even your phone notification can go off. For example, my alarm went off at 6 this morning. My phone went off during the meeting.
Here's another meaning. Food can go off. If someone says, the milk has gone off, they mean it is spoiled and isn't safe to drink anymore. That's a very common expression in American and British English.
Next is go up. Usually this means increase. Gas prices went up. My rent went up this year. The temperature is going up. You can hear this expression in the news almost every day.
Here's another example. The number of English learners has gone up. Nobody is physically moving upward. The number is simply increasing. That's why context is so important.
Our final phrasal verb today is go down. As you might guess, it's often the opposite of go up. The prices went down. My fever finally went down. Sales went down last month.
Let's try a short conversation. My electricity bill went up again. Oh no, hopefully it'll go down next month. That's exactly the kind of conversation you might hear between neighbors or coworkers.
Here's another. My alarm didn't go off this morning. Really, no wonder you were late. Very natural, very common.
Here's a useful tip about sounding polite. Instead of saying, your phone went off, you could say, I think your phone just went off. Adding words like I think or just makes your English sound softer and friendlier.
Delivery matters too. If someone tells you my interview didn't go well, don't immediately jump to grammar. Respond naturally. You could say, I'm sorry to hear that, or I hope the next one goes better. That's how real conversations work.
Let's do a quick mini practice. I'll give you a situation. You answer out loud. Ready? Gas becomes more expensive. What's the phrasal verb? That's right. Prices went up.
Your milk smells strange. What happened? It went off. Perfect.
Your morning alarm makes a loud sound at 7. What do you say? My alarm went off at 7. Excellent.
Last one, after taking medicine, your fever becomes lower. My fever went down. That's exactly right.
You're building a strong collection of everyday expressions. The more you say them out loud, the more automatic they'll become. Don't worry about speaking perfectly. Focus on communicating clearly, and confidence will grow naturally.
Let's quickly review this section. Today you've learned go off, go up, and go down. Together with the other phrasal verbs from today's lesson, you're now much closer to understanding how Americans naturally use the word go in everyday conversations.
We've covered all 12 geo phrasal verbs, and now let's talk about something every English learner experiences, making mistakes. Honestly, we've both made plenty of them while learning languages. Mistakes aren't a sign that you're failing. They're proof that you're actually using the language.
Absolutely. The goal isn't to speak perfect English every second. The goal is to communicate clearly and naturally. Let's look at 4 common mistakes learners make with geo phrasal verbs and learn how to fix them.
Mistake number 1 is translating directly from your first language. For example, someone might say, I went out with my friends. That sounds unnatural because the word order is incorrect. The correct sentence is, I went out with my friends. The phrasal verb go out stays together.
Here's another comparison. Incorrect. I'm going the documents through. Correct. I'm going through the documents. Remember, go through acts as one unit. Keep the words together unless you're dealing with a pronoun in a separable phrasal verb, and these geo phrasal verbs aren't separable.
Mistake number 2 is using the wrong phrasal verb because 2 expressions seem similar. For example, I'll go over a difficult time. That isn't correct. If you're talking about experiencing something difficult, you should say, I'll go through a difficult time. But if you're reviewing notes before an exam, then you say, I'll go over my notes. One is about experiencing. The other is about reviewing.
Here's another easy comparison. Incorrect. I need to go back this report. Correct. I need to go over this report. If you're reviewing a document, use go over. If you're returning to a place, use go back. Tiny difference. Completely different meaning.
Mistake number 3 is forgetting the context. Imagine someone says, the milk went off. Some learners think the milk exploded because they know that bombs can go off. But in this context, go off means the food spoiled. That's why context is everything in English.
Here's another example. My alarm went off. My electricity went off. The lights went off. Same phrasal verb, different situations, but the context tells you exactly what's happening.
Mistake number 4 is avoiding phrasal verbs completely. Some learners think, they're difficult, so I'll only use simple verbs. But native speakers love phrasal verbs. Instead of saying, please continue, you'll often hear, go on. Instead of saying, review your notes, you'll hear, go over your notes. Instead of saying, return home, someone might simply say, go back home. Using these expressions makes your English sound much more natural.
Here's a fun little example. Imagine your friend says, I'm thinking about starting my own business. If you answer, proceed with your objective, it sounds very formal. A native speaker would probably smile and say, go for it. Short, friendly, encouraging.
Let's practice fixing mistakes together. I'll read an incorrect sentence and you try to correct it before we do. Incorrect. I go through my homework before every test. Can you spot the problem? If you mean you're reviewing your homework, the better sentence is, I go over my homework before every test.
Here's another one. Incorrect. I'll go back these instructions. Correct. I'll go over these instructions. Again, go back means return. Go over means review.
One more. Incorrect. The cheese went up. Unless the cheese floated into the sky, that's probably not what you mean. The correct sentence is, the cheese went off. That means it's spoiled.
We hope these examples make you smile because funny mistakes are often the easiest ones to remember. If you've ever made a funny English mistake, tell us about it in the comments. We all learn from each other's experiences, and you might help another learner avoid the same mistake.
Most importantly, don't be afraid of making mistakes. Every conversation helps you improve. Every sentence makes you a little more confident. Keep speaking, keep listening, and keep practicing.
Exactly. Today's mistakes are tomorrow's success stories. Learn from them, laugh about them, and keep moving forward.
It's time for a quick challenge. We'll give you a situation and 2 possible sentences. Choose the one that sounds natural before we reveal the answer. If you're listening somewhere private, say your answer out loud. Speaking is one of the fastest ways to build confidence.
Situation number 1. You want to review your notes before tomorrow's exam. Option A, I'm going over my notes. Option B, I'm going back my notes. The correct answer is option A. We go over notes because we're reviewing them.
Situation number 2. Your friend isn't sure whether to apply for a new job. Option A, go for it. Option B, go through it. The correct answer is option A. It's a natural way to encourage someone.
Situation number 3. Your alarm makes a loud sound at 7 in the morning. Option A, my alarm went off. Option B, my alarm went away. The answer is option A. That's the expression native speakers use every day.
Situation number 4. You forgot your backpack at school. Option A, I need to go back and get it. Option B, I need to go over and get it. The correct answer is option A. You're returning to a place.
Situation number 5. Food isn't fresh anymore. Option A, the yogurt went off. Option B, the yogurt went up. The answer is option A. Remember, go off means food is spoiled.
Fantastic work. Now here's your challenge. Create one sentence using any phrasal verb we learned today. It can be about your family, work, school, hobbies, or weekend plans. Write it in the comments, and don't worry if it isn't perfect. The important thing is using English in a real sentence.
Also, try saying your sentence out loud 2 or 3 times. Real conversations aren't about speaking perfectly. They're about communicating naturally, and every bit of practice helps.
You did an amazing job today. We covered 12 incredibly useful phrasal verbs that Americans use in everyday conversations. The more you hear and practice these expressions, the more natural your English will become.
Let's quickly review the 3 main ideas from today's lesson. First, we learned everyday phrasal verbs like go on, go back, go out, go in, and go away. Second, we explored useful expressions such as go through, go over, go for, and go with, along with when to use each one. Finally, we practiced go off, go up, and go down, and learned how context changes their meanings.
Remember, learning English isn't about memorizing hundreds of rules. It's about using the language in real life. Listen carefully, speak often, make mistakes, and keep trying. Every conversation is another step toward becoming a confident English speaker.
We'd love to hear from you before you go. Which phrasal verb was your favorite today? Which one do you think you'll use first? Leave your answer in the comments because your example could inspire another learner.
If you enjoyed today's lesson, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with a friend who's learning English, and subscribe to Fluent English for more practical lessons that help you speak naturally and confidently. Your support helps us keep creating free content every week.
Thanks so much for spending your time with us today. Keep practicing a little every day, stay curious, and remember that every small step brings you closer to fluency. Take care, keep speaking English, and see you next time.